Welcome to the Money Watch Show. It's Thursday, December 28th, and we are here trying to help you make better financial decisions. I'm Jill Schlesinger, CBS News business analyst, certified financial planner, and all sealed up, Mark. I got my official notification that I did all my continuing ed, paid the $455. I'm now back into good standing with the CFP board. Not that I was out of it. It was just that I had till the end of December. Mark Talercio, my co-host, is also a certified financial planner. And when's your cycle up? Are you on the other year? Like next year is your time up?
Yeah. I think you and I alternate. So I am due, I believe, next July.
How do you do your continuing ed? Because Goodman told me that there's actually like really much better content. He thinks that I'm wasting my time doing my content. How do you do it?
What do you mean? The service that you use?
Yeah.
Oh, I use a different one than you. I don't know the name of it offhand, but it's definitely different than the one that you use. But I like it. There's a good selection of topics and stuff that you can choose from. Most importantly, it's very, very cheap.
How much?
I can do the whole thing, I think, for less than $100.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, send me that. I think I'll do that. Next year, I'll do a couple of those. I'm going to try to be more diligent about like saying, let me just do like a few credits every quarter.
Yeah, I don't like doing it all at once. So if mine is due in July, I will have started it probably, because this is how I am. I'm nuts like this. I will have started it probably by April.
Wow.
And like you just said, I'll do a little bit in April, a little bit in May, a little bit in June, just be done.
Last question for you. Do you consider jaywalking a real offense in New York City, Mark?
Are you kidding me? No.
Okay, because there's like a big hullabaloo in my neighborhood because somebody was hit by an e-bike, but she happened to be jaywalking.
Well, then it's her
like
fault.
Walking in the middle of the block. So then it's her fault. Exactly right. You can't say this is, more proof that e-bikes are the worst, which, they are kind of treacherous in New York City, I think. This one, I can't give her the...
If you're going to put yourself out there and jaywalk, you better be looking both ways.
Yeah. You know what I've decided? One of my one of my resolutions for 2024 is to stop looking at my phone while I'm walking in New York City.
Yeah,
I had to pull over, stop walking, do not do that.
I always get on Amanda for that. It's not good. There's too much going on.
It's exactly right. And there's too much traffic coming from either direction. It used to be like you could understand where you're going to have a problem, so you'd know where to look, but no one actually obeys traffic laws anyway. People are running red lights all over the place, all over the city.
Yeah, and you have scooters, you have mopeds, you have like Vespas, you have every possible thing you could think of coming at you from all different directions. You cannot be looking at your phone.
No. Definitely not. So that's me. Not going to look at my phone. All right. So this is the show that is focusing on financial stuff, not on jaywalking or New York City life, although we're happy to weigh in on that. If you have a financial question, if you're coming up to the year end and you're like, I need to turn a new page. And the way you want to turn a new page is to get in touch with us. Go to jillonmoney.com. Click the Contact Us button and write your note. We'll get an email and we're happy to answer those emails. And we also would love it if you want to join us on the air. And this show, audio, is a very easy way to join us. But you can also check out our video show. Our YouTube show is called Jill on Money, powered by The Compound. If you want to learn more about that, you got to check it out on our website. It's so much fun. I love it. And Mark and I are both doing that show. So Mark is on video. Mark, no more hats. You've got nice hair. And I'm just going to make that request that I believe that you have very nice hair. For as long as you have hair, you should celebrate that lovely head of hair that you have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I know. I was thinking the other day because, we record a bunch at a time. So now that's going to be like basically 6 straight shows with a hat.
Yeah, exactly right. I almost feel like I want to have a costume change, but
should we bring multiple outfits next time?
I could do that. I do that sometimes for Newspath when I'm doing things like one day where I'm on talking about, say, the jobs report and they want to tape something in advance for the weekend. And sometimes I'll change my outfit just because it's, TV. They want a little sizzle. On these shows, maybe not so much. Okay, so everything that we do lives on our website, jillonmoney.com. And that's where Melissa from Virginia found us. Hello, Melissa. How are you and what can we do for you today?
Hi, Jill and Mark. Yeah, I'm 44 years old, recently divorced with 2 kids that are 12 and 14. Now, since the divorce, my finances are kind of settled and divided, and I'm looking for assistance with investing for retirement's kids' college. And also with my retirement accounts, I do have a full-time job, Bring in about 145K with a small sole proprietor business side hustle. Volume can vary per year, but right now I'm at about 20 to 30K. I do contribute the max to my 401k, and there's a current balance there about 450K. I do have about 230K in CDs, and they're going to be maturing soon. And then I have about 170K in the bank right now in a high interest savings account. And that's kind of like my play money, that's the money that I want to invest and also put into my kids' accounts.
Are you bored with us? You sound like, oh, you ran through that stuff. Like she's like, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, just quit your talking, Jill and Mark. Yeah, here we go.
No, I just know the questions that you guys ask, and I'm
God
ready.
bless you. God bless you. Okay. The 450 in the retirement account, is it a Roth or traditional?
Traditional.
Okay. And new money going in, Roth or traditional?
Right now, traditional.
Okay. And the CDs, why is there so much money in CDs?
So during this past year through the divorce process, I just wanted to keep it safe until I knew if I would have to give it up or not. So I just wanted it somewhere earning something, but accessible eventually. So
is there child support or alimony going out or coming in?
Neither, thankfully.
Thank God. And are you sharing custody of these kids?
Yes, 50-50.
Okay. And what about a house? Do you own or do you rent?
I own it right now. I bought my ex-husband out of it, and there is no mortgage. So I own it 100%.
How much is it worth?
About $425.
Did you update all of your estate documents post-divorce?
Not yet. I'm in the process of doing that one at a time. It's kind of a lot. So yes, I'm doing that right now.
Isn't it? So right now, for the high yield savings and the CDs, is there any portion of that money that you need to keep liquid? In other words, I know you'll need an emergency reserve fund, but is there anything earmarked? Do you need to do something in the house? Is anything going on?
I probably will have to put on a new roof and update the HVAC systems, which is, on the order of, I don't know, 40,000 maybe.
Okay. And do you feel comfortable with a certain amount in your high yield savings? I don't know. How much money do you think you spend on a monthly basis?
About 4K.
So honestly, if you had, I don't know, if you had 50 grand in high yield savings, it would be fine. Or do you feel like, oh, that's scary?
I think it's actually more than I'd need because my salary, I only spend like half of my salary every month. And then the side business is even on top of that. So there's so much surplus that keeps going in there every month.
Oh, that's great. Okay. So of the high yield savings, we really only need to keep 40 for house stuff. Let's call it 50 for emergency reserves. So now we have 80,000 there. And then the CDs that are maturing, are they maturing like soonish or are they staggered?
About 100K will be mature end of January. And then about 130K will be mature in April.
Wow. We got a lot of money to spend. Invest. For the kids, do you guys have 529 accounts right now or not?
No.
Interesting. Tell me about what you think you want to do in terms of education. Are you the type of person who's like, look, I got the money, let's jam it in there and do it? Because is your ex going to do anything or not?
Well, we agreed on paper to each contribute the same amount, but we haven't agreed on what that is. But however we get to that number is up to each one of us. So for me, I want to put it in a 529.
At this point, do you think you'd want to try to put enough money away to pay for a public or a private education?
Public.
Good choice. I think I would very much encourage you to do the 529. I think that the big issue that you have, the big question that we have to actually think about is how much we want to front load this account. Normally, if the kids were 2 and 4 instead of 12 and 14, I would say let's put some money in every year. We'll preserve the ability for you to, have control of your money. But, we know you have 80 grand right now. So the first thing I would do is right now for each of the kids, I would probably put 17 each into their accounts before the end of this year. Okay. Set up the accounts. Just do 17 each. Now, next year, we can start the clock. Usually what happens is there is a lump sum amount that you can contribute that will allow you to basically say, I am using up my the amount of money that I would normally put in, 18, now the 17 goes to 18 next year. That's your gift tax exclusion. But you could potentially put like 90 grand in each of the kids' accounts and say, this is in contemplation for the next 5 years. And so that you're able to do that as a lump sum. You've got to check with the plan itself. So you will need to actually talk to a human being, I'm sorry to say. And that should do it for you. You would be done. Mark, is that enough money? I mean, look, in 5 years, your 14-year-old will be, you hope that maybe you'll just pay for like a semester out of cash flow maybe. But that should probably be pretty close for an in-state university education. And it's certainly plenty of money to put aside, especially if he's going to do it. Do you think does he make enough money to be able to put this kind of money away or not?
We have the same job, yes.
Do you think he'll do it? Like, I'm scared that I totally think, I don't trust this dude.
If I say, this is what I found, this is the plan, this is what we're doing, he would probably do it.
Okay, so if we trust your ex to do his part, you don't have to put 90 grand in. But if you don't trust that, then you'd fully fund it, right? And then let's say that you end up with more of this money that is, that of the high yield savings and the CDs, you end up with extra money, then open up a brokerage account. Have you ever done that? Have you had a brokerage account before?
Yes, he got the brokerage account we had in the divorce. So that was my bad.
Oh, no, it's not your bad. I'd rather you keep your retirement account. How much was in the brokerage account?
It was only 30, but even over the past month, it's gone up significantly. So
is your retirement account.
Exactly.
So I think that whatever you don't use for the education, I think that you should open up a new brokerage account for you and just use some low cost index funds. Where was the brokerage account held previously?
E-Trade or whatever it's called now, Morgan Stanley.
Okay. Well, all right. Go to Fidelity or Vanguard or something like that. You don't need to go back to E-Trade. Where's your retirement plan held?
Well, it's actually a thrift savings plan through the government.
Oh, fabulous. Are you going to have a pension?
Yes.
Oh my God. You never mentioned that.
I forgot about that.
Jeez, Louise. Okay. So you're going to have a pension. I would have a brokerage account. I would open it at Fidelity or Vanguard or Schwab, one of these big companies, T. Rowe Price. And I would start just using some index funds. That money could be a surplus fund for you. You could pop that extra, self-employment income, that 20 or 30 grand can dump it right into the brokerage account. You will be very happy to have that. How long do you think you'll be working?
I think I can still get my pension at 57, but probably between 57 and 62.
If I were to look at 57 to 62 as your number, like what would the pension amount be at that time?
I think it's like 2,500.
2,500 a month. And are you also able to claim Social Security eventually?
Eventually, but not right away. Yeah.
But you don't spend a lot of money.
No.
At 4 grand a month, pension and Social Security is going to get you there, and you got your self-employment income. That you think that if you retired from the government, would you keep doing your little side hustle gig?
Possible. And if I picked it up, I think the most it's ever made in a year was $90K. So it's very flexible.
Holy smokes. You got no problem. Retirement's no problem. Now, one last thing, Mark, do you think this is going to be a tough one for you to swallow, Melissa, just because I know you don't have a mortgage anymore. But do you think Melissa should be using a Roth version of retirement? Her tax bracket right now highest bracket is 24%.
No brainer for me.
How do you feel about that? Melissa, what do you think?
That was actually one of my questions because I know, tax brackets in the future are unpredictable. And I know that I'm in a higher tax bracket now, but I do not have that kind of money bucket right now. I don't have anything like a Roth. I don't have a health savings account.
Yeah, I think a Roth could be good for you.
Her current 450, that's going to be $1 million. She's going to have pension income. It's a lot of taxable income. I would start doing the Roth.
I know. I think that no matter what, any way we slice it, that in the future, you're going to at least be in the 22%. And you'll probably maybe you'll be higher. I don't know. But have some Roth money is not the worst thing in the world. And eventually, when you do retire, let's say you say, 60, I'm done. You collect your pension at 60. You've got another let's say 10 years before you collect Social Security. We can start dripping the money out of your pre-tax account at that time to get the money out. Because what we want to make sure is that you don't end up with these big, huge required minimum distributions, which would be kind of a pain in the neck for you. You've got plenty of time to plan for that. And I think that you're in great shape. I'll tell you what, I know that divorce usually just absolutely annihilates everybody's balance sheet in the process, but you've done incredibly well. The kids, you'll take care of their college, you'll do the 529, talk to the ex, and you have life insurance?
I have whatever I got through the government, just the minimum. Yeah.
You might need what happens? Wait a second. You don't have some life insurance like through the divorce settlement? In other words, if you were to pass away, your pension goes away because you don't have a spouse. Then you have all this money. Who's going to take care of the kids? He takes care of the kids, but who's going to handle the money part of it? Like who gets the money to oversee for the kids?
It's a great question. I guess in a trust fund, I could set up a trust fund. Is that an option?
Well, you're going to set up some sort of trust where all your money goes, right? And what happens is somebody has to direct that. Do you have a sibling?
Yes.
Oh, I don't think she likes a sibling, Mark. What do you? Yes.
Yeah, I have a couple.
Is there one that's responsible?
Yes.
Okay. If one is responsible, pick that one. So if you have that, you've got to make sure when you do your estate planning, you involve that person. You really have to, okay? Meaning that you have to say to the person, like, look, you don't have to say, here's how much money you're going to get. You have to say, I'm leaving all this money in trust for you to oversee on behalf of the kids. Is that okay? There's plenty of money to help take care of the kids. It's just that you want to make sure that it doesn't land in the wrong person's lap to do so. It's like, oh my God, Jill, I've gone through the divorce. I've done everything. Can you get off my back? I know. I'm sorry. I keep just layering it on, but you're in great shape, Melissa. So is there anything else that we can do for you today?
Well, I guess one of the questions would be like for the Roth, is there a limit to how much I can put in a Roth if I'm maxing out my TSP?
Well, I'm suggesting that for the TSP, you use the Roth version of the TSP, and there's no income limit when you're using it through an employer's plan. So you don't have to worry about that.
Yes. Okay.
All right. Deep breath with us, Melissa. You're doing great. The year is almost over. It's probably it sounds like a pretty crappy year for you getting divorced, but you're here. You've made it. And it sounds like your financial situation has really not suffered dramatically. So onward, ho. Good luck. And let us know if there's anything that we can help you out with in the future. And thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Of course. If you are like Melissa and you've gone through like a pretty major league life change, divorce, marriage, birth, death, anything like that, give us a holler. Go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. Don't forget that all of our content lives on that website. My book, The Great Money Reset, our service, Jill on Money Live, where you have access to quarterly live webinars and bonus content. And check out our brand new YouTube show every Saturday. Jill on Money, powered by The Compound, is released, and you'll find all the information. You can subscribe to that and like that on YouTube, or just follow Mark's links. He's made it very easy. Mark Talercio is the co-host, executive producer, and web king of this universe. We are distributed by Paramount Global. We drop our episodes every Tuesday and Thursday. Try to do something nice for someone else today. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.